I really don't care what happens to her at all. I don't care. Like, everybody they tiptoe around with this social media. But what y'all don't get is that it be real consequence for y'all little flexes, y'all quick flexes for $300 that you need. It be consequences for that.
The crowd couldn't believe what they were witnessing. At a glamorous event meant to bring joy, tension boiled over into a public war. Teyana Taylor, in a moment of sheer desperation, screamed, "Stop," right as things reached a breaking point. What happened next was caught on dozens of phones and instantly exploded across the internet. Pierre and Iman Shumpert, two men deeply connected to Teyana, went head-to-head in front of everyone. This wasn't just gossip anymore, it was a full-on public clash, and the footage is undeniable. What was supposed to be a peaceful night turned into a viral disaster. With social media in flames and fans scrambling for answers, we're breaking down every explosive detail, twist by twist. It all went down outside a high-profile launch party in Los Angeles thrown by a mutual friend of Teyana and Iman. Teyana showed up with Pierre by her side, making a bold statement with their very public debut as a couple. They looked relaxed, smiling for photos and mingling with guests. But the energy in the room shifted sharply when Iman arrived with his brother. Witnesses say Iman spotted Aaron from across the courtyard and locked eyes with him. The two men hadn't spoken in weeks, and it was clear something unresolved was about to surface. Teyana reportedly looked visibly uncomfortable, whispering something to Aaron as Iman slowly approached. Phones were already recording, sensing something was about to pop off. The confrontation started with words. In a now viral clip, Aaron is heard muttering, "Didn't expect to see washed-up energy here." That one sentence was enough to snap Iman into reaction mode. Iman stepped forward, chest to chest with Aaron, his fists clenched tight. Teyana tried to calm things down, physically placing herself between them, one hand on each man's chest. "This isn't the time," she said, trying to hold them back. But the energy was too volatile. They weren't listening. Tension that had been building for months was about to erupt, and no words could stop what was coming. Just as it seemed fists were going to fly, Teyana let out a piercing scream. "Stop." Her voice cut through the noise and caused a brief pause. Everyone turned. Even Iman and Aaron took a step back in surprise. But the calm lasted just a few seconds. Aaron suddenly shoved Iman, sending him stumbling. Iman retaliated with a swing, and chaos erupted. Screams from bystanders filled the air. Security sprinted toward the scene, struggling to break them apart. People dropped drinks, phones were recording from every angle, and the entire party came to a halt as the fight played out. Within minutes, footage began circulating online. TikTok, X, and Instagram lit up with clips showing the brawl. One video already racked up over 2 million views in the first few hours. In nearly every angle, Teyana's voice screaming "Stop" is painfully clear. She looks heartbroken, torn between the two men in her life. Fans flooded the comments with outrage. "This isn't love. This is chaos," one user wrote. "She deserves peace, not this circus," said another. Hashtags like #ProtectTeyana and #TeamNobody started trending. The internet wasn't taking sides, they were demanding better. Later that night, Teyana's team issued a short but unmistakably serious statement. Ms. Taylor is deeply disturbed by the events of tonight. She asks for space and privacy as she processes what happened. Though the message didn't name Aaron or Iman directly, no one was confused about who the statement was addressing. It was a clear signal that Teyana was emotionally shaken, exhausted, and no longer willing to pretend everything was okay. Behind the scenes, sources close to her described a much more raw and vulnerable version of what the public saw. She was reportedly seen leaving the venue in a black SUV, her head down and her hands covering her face. One friend who was with her claims she was crying in the backseat, repeating through tears, "This is the last time I let them both ruin my peace." Insiders say that this moment wasn't just emotional, it was transformative. She's now planning to step away from both men, at least for the foreseeable future. The goal? To reclaim her sanity, rebuild her boundaries, and create a safe and stable environment for her daughter. There's no indication that she's interested in entertaining any more drama from either of them. And honestly, after everything that's unfolded, few could blame her. What started as a complex but somewhat manageable situation had turned into an all-out emotional circus. But just as it seemed like things might settle down, the internet caught fire again, this time because of Iman's mother. In a now-deleted Instagram comment, she wrote, "She should have never left the real man for the actor." Though it was only up for a short time, screenshots spread like wildfire. The timing couldn't have been worse. Emotions were already raw, and instead of calming the waters, her comment ignited yet another wave of public backlash. Some fans slammed her for making things worse and dragging Teyana publicly, calling it unnecessary and cruel. Others, however, defended her right to protect her son, arguing that she was watching someone she loved be publicly humiliated. Either way, the drama had officially spilled over from just the central trio, Teyana, Aaron, and Iman, to extended family members. The fire wasn't just spreading, it was out of control. Then came a new twist, this time from Aaron's past. His ex-girlfriend, who had mostly remained silent through the saga, jumped into the chaos with two cryptic Instagram stories. The first one read, "I warned y'all he's messy." The second followed shortly after, "Play with the clown, get the circus." Most fans instantly assumed the messages were directed at Teyana. Whether or not that was true, the damage was done. It was the first time Aaron's own baggage from previous relationships had entered the current narrative, and it didn't paint him in a flattering light. For Teyana, it was yet another layer of chaos added to a situation that was already deeply overwhelming. She wasn't just caught between two men anymore, she was now being dragged by the ghosts of their pasts as well. Things escalated even further when reports from TMZ revealed that the venue where the altercation occurred had nearly involved law enforcement. According to their sources, security was just minutes away from calling the lapse due to the severity of the argument. While no one was injured badly enough to require hospitalization, tensions got physical and loud enough to send shockwaves through the event. Event organizers are now allegedly considering banning both Iman and Aaron from future industry functions. That's not just a social blow, it's a professional one. Both men have careers in entertainment, and being labeled as a problem could mean missed bookings, lost partnerships, and a tarnished image in an industry where reputation is everything. One fight may have just cost them real opportunities. But the most heartbreaking moment of all didn't come from a celebrity, a manager, or even one of the men involved. It came from a child. In the midst of all the public arguments, media chaos, and social media commentary, a quiet voice cut through it all. A fan on social media shared that they overheard Teyana's daughter speaking softly to a family member after the recent incident involving her parents and Aaron. With innocent confusion, she asked, "Why are they always fighting because of me?" It was a question so simple, yet so heavy. That one sentence hit like a punch to the gut, because it laid bare the emotional damage that none of the adults had truly paused to consider. For many, this innocent question reframed the entire situation. The online messiness, the vague captions, the cryptic posts, the back-and-forth jabs between Iman and Aaron. It all suddenly felt hollow. None of it mattered in the face of a child silently carrying the weight of her parents' choices. It wasn't about drama anymore. It was about the emotional well-being of a little girl who didn't choose this spotlight, this chaos, or these battles. She was just trying to grow up, surrounded by love. And instead, she found herself stuck in the middle of adult dysfunction being broadcast to the world. That one moment caused a noticeable shift in tone across social media. The usual frenzy of gossip slowed. Even the loudest, most vocal fans fell silent. Popular gossip pages stopped posting updates for a while. The tone wasn't playful anymore, it was sobering. People began reflecting, not reacting. Many started expressing genuine concern instead of taking sides. The question now wasn't who's right or wrong, it was what's best for the child. Fans began urging Teyana to make decisions that would remove her daughter from the toxicity altogether. Her latest Instagram post was flooded with comments like, "Cut the cameras. Focus on your baby now, and protect her peace at all costs." People begged her to take a permanent step away from both men if that's what it took to ensure her daughter could grow up in a stable, loving, and healthy environment. Some called for legal action, full custody arrangements, restraining orders if needed. Others suggested therapy, not just for the child, but for everyone involved, because the damage seemed deeper than what the public could see. Almost everyone agreed on one thing: this is no longer about image or celebrity drama. This is about a child, an innocent life quietly absorbing everything that's happening around her. And when the spotlight fades and the arguments stop trending, she will still remember the energy, the tension, and the feeling of being caught in the middle. The internet might move on, but the emotional scars could last a lifetime. Through all the chaos, heartbreak, and noise, one thing is becoming painfully clear. Teyana is standing at a major crossroads. The relationships, the reputations, the carefully curated social media images. None of it matters more than the well-being of her child. And based on everything that's happened, fans believe she finally sees that too. The public might still speculate, gossip, and choose sides. But behind the scenes, a mother is realizing that peace isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. And this time, she may be ready to walk away from everything that threatens it. Sources close to the situation claim Teyana is meeting with legal advisors this week. The topic? Possible restraining orders, not just for her own safety but for her daughter's well-being. If true, it would mark a serious shift in Teyana's stance. From peacemaker to protector. From mediator to survivor. Insiders say she's done being in the middle and ready to create boundaries that will finally bring peace to her household. The public is watching closely to see what her next move will be. The events at that LA party didn't just make headlines, they changed everything. A scream, a shove, a fight, captured from multiple angles and seen by millions. Teyana Taylor, a woman constantly caught in the middle, finally reached her breaking point. Family feuds, exes jumping in, fan outrage, and a child asking questions no kid should ever ask. This isn't entertainment. It's emotional warfare. And if the latest reports are true, Teyana is about to end the battle once and for all. The world will be watching.